So I just wanted to ask a few questions. One is that you seem to struggle with some of the challenges that some of the judges would tell you that they felt that maybe you didn't really understand the challenges. Do you think it was sort of an issue of maybe a problem of a language barrier, or do you think it more was just that you had a different interpretation of what you thought that they wanted?
Definitely. Maybe I can say both. For sure, I have many struggles about language barriers. Probably most of them was at the beginning of the show. But I have to say also that I have to recognize that for the fact that I just been in New York maybe just 7 months right now, and at the point that I get into the show being like 5, I have to say that maybe I never connected to the fashion statement probably of the city, or maybe the market or the trends. I thought probably was the same thing as my country in Puerto Rico, because I've been there like 32 years of my life, and probably because it's too close to New York, I was thinking will be the same, but maybe it's not. Maybe I was wrong. So I don't know if you get my point.
Yeah, well, on a related note, that's sort of what I would ask. Do you feel that your style and your sort of design aesthetic is based on your upbringing and having lived in Puerto Rico, or do you feel it's something entirely different?
No. I have to say, I have to look forward and see how many changes about my aesthetic I can change it in my future. But right now, I have to say that, of course, my aesthetic is related about my country, and that's the reason that I think that they don't like my aesthetic so much, probably. Because I have so confidence. I've been so confident with all my designs, and when they don't like it, or they think that it's like for all girls and everything, I was like, for real? I was so, because sometimes I can recognize that I do something like not too much, and I can think like, oh, probably they don't like it. But most of my looks, I was very confident about.
Oh, that's good, definitely.
And their critiques surprised me so much. And it was like, in some points I get like lost during the competition. I was thinking, oh my God, maybe I should not be a fashion designer because nobody likes nothing about me. So I was very confused. Several times during the competition I get confused. But it's just about taste, and let's see what happens.
Casanova, hi, my name is Candace. Piggybacking off of that question a little bit, you said that most of the looks you felt very comfortable, confident about, but were there any looks that, looking back on it now, if you were to adjust to the judges' critiques, knowing what you do now, being outside of that bubble, the competition, and no sleep and everything like that, if you're looking back, is there one look that you might redesign, and in what way would you redesign it to make it more competitive?
Probably the first one, the first challenge, because the theme of the first design, I have to say that the first design, I was totally agree with Ina Garcia when she told me that the design, it's a cliche. I'm totally agree that the design was a cliche. If I have to redesign one of my designs from the competition, I will do the first one again. My issue was I get the instructions like I should use most of the fabric of the old garment in the new one. But then I realized that maybe if I use like a little piece of the garment, I will be okay, because the winning look have just 2 pieces on the shoulder. So if I had to redesign some design, I will do some very nice outfit, and then I will put some pieces of the fabric of the Ivy's blouse. And because I was pretty uncomfortable with the first design, I never considered that was a design that looked like a Dubai pole dancer or something like that. But was not like my best. I just was trying to follow the instruction and as much as I can. That's it.
Oh, another question, Casanova. You're a couture designer, right?
Pardon me?
You are a couture designer, correct? I think that was mentioned a couple of times in the show. You do couture pieces. You do like a lot of hand detail work.
Yes, all of the work that I make, it's about 30% hand finish.
Do you think that there's a place for that sort of time-intensive and also usually very expensive design on the show, or does a couture designer really have to change their strategy when they're on the show?
Probably you should. The other mistake that I have to recognize that I did is because I never followed the show before, and when I get in the show, I've been very focused about the construction. And the show, if you see, the show is not Project Couture, it's Project Runway, so it's into the runway. It's not about much into the construction, and I just been very focused in perfect execution, lining. The judges never take a look inside the garments to see the construction, so probably I don't get more risque or more exciting because for the time that you have to make the clothes, I was thinking to make a simple design, but very nice construction. But at the end of the challenge, I realized maybe I can do something very extraordinary without boning, without lining, whatever, because they don't care much about. That was my experience. They don't care much about the execution of the garment. It's just the look. If you look on the runway, you will be fine. So it's my fault. I'm not saying that it's totally my fault. Maybe if I've been followed the show before, I don't get as lost as I've been in the show. Does that make sense?
That does. Thank you. I think it was. I definitely did show. At least I could see on the TV some of the construction, but I think that makes a lot of sense what you said.
Exactly.
Hi, Casanova. It's Wendy from The Examiner. I was wondering if you could tell us... Hi. I was wondering if you could tell us about the inspiration about your line for Fashion Week. The lovely white pants and tops.
Fashion Week, the gold pants.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's very curious because I've been inspired in my grandmother, and I have to make that fact very clear. When I said that I'm getting inspired in my grandmother, I don't want to try to people think that my grandmother can wear all my collection, because it's not. I've been inspired in things about my grandmother. For example, my grandmother is a strong woman. I consider my grandmother as a woman of steel. That's the reason of the makeup, because the makeup look like the woman behind the skin is from steel. And my grandmother never wore pants, but she always took decision. She had no more education, and she always took like smart decision. And she's extremely self-confident, and I always consider my grandmother as a woman with pants. Probably in Spanish, I can say like a woman with balls. I don't know, in English it's rude, probably. So, you know what I mean? My mother is like a very strong, and that's the way that I can represent in a runway. Women in pants, women with self-confidence, women that don't care about like shining, about colors, about, strong woman. And of course, the hairstyle is the same hairstyle that my mother have every single day with all the bobby pins in the back. It's the same thing that my grandmother wore like daily.
But not the makeup, right?
Not the makeup. The makeup is just my interpretation, how I can get in the runway a woman of steel.
Right.
My mother even don't wear makeup. This is just my interpretation of the way that I can see my grandmother.
And one more question. Your website that you had listed on the Lifetime site, CasanovaPR.com, I can't seem to find it. Is there a different address? Or is it
No. It's a different address. It was, oh my God, I even have no idea that website was in the Lifetime webpage. The new one is Casanova NYC, which is my new label. But actually, we are working on the webpage right now. So we'll be able, like, in maybe the next week. But it will be Casanova NYC, which is, like, the label that I already have here in New York.
Okay. I got it. All right.
And for the people that will buy the clothes from the Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week online, you know that they can buy the clothes. The clothes that I make for the Fashion Week already have the labels.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.